crazy.
How did you do with the whole SNL experience?
I had a lot of fun with it, man. I was pissed a lot too.
It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's also a show. Hey.
Yeah, I did my daughter graduated from college.
Oh man, congratulations!
A couple
to
weeks
her,
ago. Yeah,
That's
thank you.
awesome.
And it was in New York State and hot.
Oh man,
Really hot. No tent because it's on a hill.
Oh,
It was beautiful and all that, but it was so hot. And I had a suit and tie.
oh man.
And I was like, I always wanted to be the James Bond kind of guy who's in a suit and tie, and you're like, how's that guy not sweating?
Yeah.
Everyone else is in shorts. How's that guy not sweating?
Or drunk.
Right, or wasted. And I did it, and it wasn't worth it. I was so hot.
Oh man, that sounds like a recipe to pass out. Just right on the floor in a suit.
Yeah.
Nothing's worse than passing out in a full suit.
Right, exactly. Like a used car salesman. That's the other part. I always think I look like, like James Bond, and I really look like Abbott and Costello. Like, sweaty, the tie undone.
James has been through some shit. Mr. Bond is not doing well these days.
Why is he? He's been binge eating.
All his ties are looser than they used to be.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too,
Yeah.
man.
Normally, if we were in LA, I would have baked you bread.
Okay.
Because I bake bread nonstop and give it to my friends when they come to the podcast.
That's awesome.
But when I'm here, I go to Vesuvio Bakery.
Ooh.
And I got you 2 chocolate croissants.
Okay.
So,
Thank you for my croissants,
yeah.
Playboy.
Yeah, of course.
That's a solid ass snack right there.
It's a really good.
Yeah.
It actually looks like, I don't know where you're at. Like, are you trying to lose weight or letting it go?
I am tightening up.
You're tightening up.
Yeah.
Well, these are not going to be your friend.
No, this actually I think you're trying to sabotage my plans for the summer. Nah, I don't go totally off carbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in a tightening phase. I had that in the morning, then I won't eat the rest of the thing.
What's your tightening phase?
It's just I kept my little belly on. I had this role. I was playing a mechanic and he was dirty, so I was just like, he ain't fit. You know what I mean? If he can't wash his clothes, he's not doing a crunch.
Right. He doesn't have a gym membership.
Yeah, man. So now that that's over, I get tightened up. Basically, just for the
That's
summer,
funny.
I'll get my little stomach looking good
I was in
for a little while.
I was in Air, the
Yeah.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon,
Great movie.
great movie.
Yeah.
I was in that movie.
Yeah, you were.
And it was I had one scene, and same thing. He was kind of a mess, and I was like, oh, he can show up chubby.
Yeah.
I don't have to dial it in. I can be chubby.
Yeah.
So I showed up chubby, and then kept chubby for a while, and then got cut out of the movie.
Good God. I did all this chubby for nothing?
Yeah, I show up. You know how brave I was?
Yeah,
to
man.
show up chubby, and then you cut me.
And you cut me, and I could have cut me this whole time.
The worst.
No, man. But you dedicate. You dedicate
Thank you.
to the craft.
Thank you.
And I respect it, Tom.
Can you gain weight easy? You always seem skinny to me.
Now
Yeah.
I do. I feel like aging has never been a thing. Like I don't really care about it. I guess I've always grown up with old people, so I'm like, okay, it's not that bad.
I'm always the young guy.
Yes, but like the fact that I can gain weight quicker now and it's harder to lose, is the only sign I'm getting older.
Yeah.
Outside of like,
Yeah.
just like being tired and shit. But like,
Yeah, right.
but it's like, oh man, I gotta really run a lot. I gotta really like do stuff for real.
Yeah.
Because I've always worked out and always like been pretty active.
Yeah.
But and I've always been really skinny, and now it's like, oh shit, I can't eat candy every day all the time.
It's really awful. And the worst part, I'm at a stage now where I don't think I can work out enough to offset. Like, I think I just have to stop eating food.
Yeah, soup diet, baby.
There's no workout Especially when you're on your own working out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty kind to myself.
Yeah, you can't be. That's where you're fucking up.
Yeah.
You're bringing niceness into your workouts.
Right,
You
exactly.
gotta have somebody yelling at you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Screaming your flaws.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I don't want that pressure.
That's how
We
you
don't.
get there. I don't know if you can get there just like on your own all the time. I feel like you just get you a little brush up session with a trainer. Like the trainers always make me go harder because I'll talk myself into being done. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'll be in
100%.
there and be like, yeah, one. You know what? Most people don't even get there. Yeah.
Right, exactly. I still got it. You ever see the guys in the gym who read the paper on the treadmill?
Oh man, it's like you're not doing something right. Either you're not treadmilling right or you're not reading.
Right. Yeah.
Like how are you
You're
lightly
doing
jogging?
everything
and-
you do is shitty.
Yeah, dude, you're just in the middle of the road on both of those things.
You're touring a lot. You got a lot of good dates.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I've been, trying to get this new hour together. I'm always working towards an hour, but
Yeah.
we
We got to come up with a new term for that.
yeah.
It can't be the. It's just because everybody's always saying I'm working on my hour.
Yeah.
I feel like our hours should be special.
Yeah, it's like I'm working. I'm working.
I'm working.
I'm just
working.
working. I'm just working.
I don't know what it's going to be at the end.
It might be 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. It might be an earthquake 30.
A tight old earthquake 30. You robbed this earthquake. You robbed
I know.
us,
We
man.
wanted more quake.
We wanted more quake.
Damn.
Get back in the lab. That's what rappers say. Get in the lab. I wish we had a place.
Yeah.
I guess we do.
Yeah, I guess we did.
Comedy
The
club.
cellar.
Get back on the stage. Yeah, no, it's at the same ring too.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, just working on it.
Yeah.
And whatever it becomes,
Just-
it becomes.
Yeah, just working. Just working.
The new act.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds better.
The new act is nice.
The new act.
Yeah.
The new mind blowing.
The new transcendent.
The great American novel. The great American set.
Yeah,
Working
absolutely.
on the great American set.
I'm great African American
The
set.
great African American set. I worked on that for a while and then was told I shouldn't be working.
Yeah,
on that.
man, you were saying a lot of wild stuff early in the set too.
I thought I was an ally.
Turns out you should be in the alley.
turns out, when they start calling you Elvis while you're on stage, it's not going according to plan.
Oh my God, no. It's been really fun, man. Being just being able to be on the road and just stretch the hour and kind of see how things work.
Yeah.
I love the road more than most things.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
good. How's your travel these days? Can you travel in a nicer way or?
Yeah. I'm not bougie about much, but
Uh-huh.
like how I get there, how I get back, because I've been doing. It's been 14 years at this point, and so it's like, I hate being uncomfortable when I'm flying because I'm flying early. I'm not a morning person,
Uh-huh.
and people love to talk, and I just like to sit where I just like to sit in like a nice little seat where people have too much money to get on your fucking nerves,
Right.
You know?
They have so much money they don't care about your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not going to ask any questions.
Yeah, I'm like, as long as they do that and they shut that damn window.
Oh, the window.
Fucking shut the window, bruh.
It's so bad. Tom Segura used to post about the window. So
Yeah.
every time I'm on a flight and see, and that blaring, you can't see anything. There's no view. There's nothing.
There's nothing.
It's just bright light.
It's just the devil of a person sitting there like, hey, guess what I can fuck up? The ambiance,
Right. I always want to say, look around. No one else has a window open.
Oh,
You're the only one.
That's what life is like having an anger management issue is that in my mind, I'm losing it all of the time. And the only thing that stops me is the fact that I don't want to be that guy on that video where somebody pans
You
up and I'm like,
snap.
look at the window. Because that's when they're going to tune in, when nothing makes sense, spits flying out of
You're
my face.
ruining the ambiance.
The ambiance, like, my man yelled ambiance like it was fuck bitches get money.
It's so bad. I was on a flight recently with my wife.
Yeah.
And she doesn't, we don't travel that often together. And we're traveling. I'm like, where's that? I woke up. I'm like, where's that light? My wife had her window open. And I was like, no, baby, no, you can't. No window. She's like, why? You have no fun. I'm like, you're ruining the ambiance.
The ambiance.
My own wife. I was like, no.
You gotta take her to ambiance training. You know what I'm saying? They got classes on Craigslist. No, when I find my girl, she knows the rules. Now she like to look out, but she'll close it right back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She'll look out real quick and she'll look because we don't like it together. We are a menace.
I'll give you lift off.
Yeah.
You could have lift off.
You gotta check and see what they're doing down there. You know, so sometimes they hitting it with sometimes they doing too much, and you like, hey fam. One time I saw him throw a bag. It wasn't even my bag. He was just tossed the bag on there. I'm like, all right, they couldn't hear me, but I was like,
be gentle.
Calm down. That's a person's things.
I keep an eye mask in the bag
Okay,
because I've given up. Like it's a little uncomfortable. Like if you're all right.
Yeah.
You've got two here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're on the aisle over here.
Yeah.
And that window is open.
Mm-hmm.
Will you ask over a person to close that window?
Oh well.
That's a big ask.
Okay, here's what I've done in the past. When that has happened, I've waited for them to knock out, and then I close it.
And then reach over.
Yeah, I'll do the reach over. Now, there's other times if it's over there and everything else is closed this way.
Yeah.
I'll just tilt the hat down like a cowboy, like a cowboy just like, you know what I mean. But I'll be steaming the whole time.
Me too.
It'll be the angriest nap you've ever seen in your life.
You know.
I'm like,
we travel too much.
Son of a fucking bitch.
Moron. Close your fucking car.
I'm like, does anybody regular get this mad at things?
But they don't understand. We're weary.
Yeah.
We're on there. We're flying too often.
All the time. And then don't let somebody know that you're a comic, because that shit is the worst.
Yeah.
It's just, I love people. I don't want to make it seem like I don't love people. But I also, I have an introverted sensibility sometimes. So I need to be recharging, and sometimes I got to travel when that recharging is happening. And people, man, this one dude was like, hey, man, what do you do? And I'm like, I do comedy. Because I also can't lie. I don't like to lie. Because then people ask you further, and then you're like,
so how is insurance?
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I'm like, no, being an astronaut is fun. And you're just like going down this long path of this made-up life you have.
Yeah, no, all the suits are tight, but the training's not bad. The food's better than you thought.
Yeah. It's all dust, but it's good dust. It's like a good dust. But this dude, he did like indoor skating. And he was like, hey, I'm an indoor speed skating coach. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I said that, oh, okay, like it was a period on there. You know what I mean? Like I didn't say, oh, okay, tell me more. I was like, oh, this is an interesting thing to just lead with. And he was talking to me when my headphones were on.
Oh, man.
So he's one of those like,
yeah.
I'm like, huh?
And you do it real slow, like real exaggerated.
Huh? Yeah, and don't take your hand off the headphone to let him know this is temporary. Yeah. I'm not dedicating myself to this. He forced it on me. He was like, hey, man, speed skating. I'm a speed skating coach, and most people think that speed skating is outdoors. I'm like, most people don't think about it at all. Actually, sir. And he showed me videos.
No.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, man, it's weird to show me videos of young girls speed skating indoors. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know you like that. Yeah. An onlooker might think this is weird.
This is like a setup.
Yeah. I'm like, what
this
is
entrapment?
He's like, yeah. You like that? You like how she's speeding around? Well, her little body can get around the curves. I'm like, hey, man, put your phone away.
Oh no.
He was a kind guy. He came to my show.
He did.
Oh my God, he was super annoying about it.
Too. Really?
Yeah. He was trying to tell his side. I don't think he understood what comedy is. Like he was trying to tell his side of the story, and I'm like, no, nigga, I'll make myself look good in this story completely. Right. This is my one-sided conversation.
Man, he came. So you really struck up a relationship with the guy.
I didn't want to, but I had roasted him so much that I was like, you know what, come to the show, man.
Well, that's the problem too. Is they start talking about their thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? This might be more fun if we talk about me.
Yeah, it's like
You're like,
because I'm just gonna start roasting
Yeah.
what you say, and then you're gonna think I don't like your life. And
I went through this period. I was doing this show called Live from Here on NPR.
yeah.
And
remember?
I had to write. Didn't you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
And I had to write these monologues every week.
Yeah.
And they were about like the city that we were going to and the people that I met.
Right.
And first I made them up, and then I was like, I need material.
Right.
And I became the guy on the plane. Like if somebody said, "Hey, how are you?" I'd start talking to them.
That's amazing.
And I started to realize, as annoying as it is, everyone's hilarious.
Yes.
Everyone's got something.
Yep.
Or some twist or something sad even that I could work into my monologues.
Yeah.
And I just started being the friendly guy. I just started chatting it up.
Man,
I
I
know.
wish I could be that all the like as much as I fly. I wish I could be that even half the time.
Yeah.
I'm just so tired. Like
I know. But there's something to it. There definitely
Yeah.
is something. I had a friend, I said, I went through and then after that, I went through this period and I said to my friend on a podcast, I said, I'm starting to see like the guy, I was always friendly, but now I'm starting to see the guys who don't talk at all and just put their head down and like don't see anybody. And she's like, don't do it. Don't do it. Participate in the world, be a part of the world, talk to people. I was like, and she wasn't letting it go. She was like, I'm telling you. So I was in Dallas and in the elevator going up to the lounge.
Yeah.
And it's early and there's like 6 people. And this is right off of talking to her. And I was like, so where's everybody going?
oh, you're that guy.
I'm telling you, Chris. This one woman's like, we got to go. We have a graduation to go to. Oh, my God, we got stuck in that. Oh, man, you're going there. We're from there. We just came back. By the time we got to the 3rd floor, the doors opened up. It was 6 friends.
That's amazing.
They were all just bubbly and just kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's super cool, and that happens sometimes too. I feel like elevators is like that. As much as I shitting on talking on planes, I have had moments where it was nice. But then there's also the flip side where I'm like feeling like talking, and I'm in the elevator. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And they don't say shit. And I'm like, I don't even care for real. I'm not even just in a roller coaster of emotion. I don't even actually give a fuck, man.
Oh, fuck me.
I'm just trying to be a better fucking person, but look at me. Cake on my face.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you do run into a douchebag.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to talk. And you're like, I'm not one of the talkers. I was just saying good morning. I do think that you can have the window open on takeoff.
Yeah.
And also, you have to say a friendly hello to each other upon sitting down. Because we're about to go 30,000 feet into the sky.
Yes.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Just so we know, we've made an introduction.
Yes.
And we're on the same team.
Yes. Also, I love aware people. So, like, most people aren't aware, and that's why I don't like talking to them.
Right.
But now I'm thinking, you got me thinking of, like, when the times I have spoke is when, like, somebody, maybe a stewardess or was, like, rude as fuck, and we all overheard it.
Right.
And we're like, and we give each other a look like, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? That's how I bond. I
Right.
bond when some shit's going down, someone's being a fucking ass.
Yeah.
And we're like looking at each other like, this motherfucker. Those are the people I bond with all day.
Yeah.
And then the people who know how to retreat back to their bubble.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like a good neighbor.
Yeah, man, you can't force me into 4 hours of conversation, bro. If we talked all over Nevada, bro, leave me alone until we land.
I know. Yeah, that's a good neighbor. Like, you wave when you're taking out the garbage.
Yeah.
Say a couple nice things, and you go back in. You're not like then following him to his house.
Yeah, dude.
Going inside and asking for snacks.
Yeah, you don't see your neighbor checking the mail and be like, yo, tell me about that thing that happened last week. No, from there. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. No, but there is that balance of wanting to reach out. I mean, it definitely helped with that monologue. Like it.
Oh yeah, I bet it did.
It was like you really. I mean, every single person's got stuff.
They really do.
They've got stuff, and you know, you do it long enough, you're like, I'm out of stuff.
I need more stuff.
You guys give me your stuff. You grew up St. Louis?
I was born in St. Louis. I grew up there for about 7 years, and then we moved to Chicago, in the suburbs of Chicago.
In the suburbs.
Yeah, in Aurora and Naperville. And we, and even through St. Louis to Chicago, my family is from Mississippi, so we would go down there. In St. Louis, every 6 weeks we would go because it was a year-round school. So we had 3 weeks off every 6 weeks. So it was my mom and dad created a nomad. Because like I always felt like I could like attach myself to these places, and so like so many places have a homely feel to them. You know what I mean? So as I was getting older, I was like, where the fuck am I from? You know what I mean?
Right.
I've always had that feeling of like, oh, that's home, but that's home, but that's home.
Yeah.
This is home, you know.
Yeah.
It's good. There's good and there's bad of it. You know.
I'm trying to think who it was. I was a writer, I think. I'm spacing on the name. Damn it. But he said that there's somewhere people and anywhere people.
Ooh.
And somewhere people have to live somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's their spot.
Yeah.
They're not comfortable leaving that somewhere.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who are cool with anywhere.
Yeah. I can make a home anywhere I'm interested in making a home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That feels. But I also think that I need an element of moving around. Like,
right.
It used to be out of not wanting to be home, but now I have a little home. You know what I mean? So now it's like, as long as I can like have some time at home that's genuine. I'm working on that part now in my life. Is like finding that balance between like real life and comedy. Because my life was comedy forever. You know what I mean? And it's mad unhealthy. But
it is a little unhealthy.
But
you kind of need it in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think you can make it without it being that. But I think it's a tug and pull. I don't think it's ever consistently one kind of thing.
No, I know.
But you definitely need your life, because that's where you're gonna get your stuff. All your stuff comes from your life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's why do you think there's a part of you that wants to give it more balance now?
Because I'm in a relationship and I like it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which makes me want to be home more. I'm in therapy, so like I'm finding answers to the reasons why I was doing certain things and living a certain way, and I was thinking it was just because like, you know, because I'm the man. But
hustle.
I gotta hustle. But there's really deep rooted things about it, you know, and it made me, having a life made the material better. Like it made everything else better. Like
right,
you know what I mean? It was
right.
There's more depth to it. Like this stuff I'm working on now is like directly pulled from my everyday. So so it's like. So it makes that funner, and then it makes like the things you make up even funnier.
Right.
Everything else just feels better.
Which goes against the instinct when you're young and starting.
Yeah. It's
like slowing down and being content seems like that'd be cold water on an act.
Oh my, yeah.
You think that?
Yeah, absolutely. Or just being happy. I used to think being too happy was the end.
Right.
I'm like, what happens when things stop annoying me? Then I just don't know what to write about anymore.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
I know.
But turns out, things are annoying you until you die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no escape.
Nothing's. This is a world.
Right. Yeah.
There's always gonna be something to fucking make you mad.
Yeah.
Piss you off. Even though you don't have to write from that place every time.
Yeah.
But that's where my gold comes from. You know what I mean?
No, I know. I mean, there could be a problem if you were completely zen. You could not do comedy.
Yeah. If you're moving, if you're like, I mean, look at Dave. He went. He brought the entire Hollywood to Ohio. You know what I mean?
Right.
He went and got a place, and then he like turned the whole shit into a Netflix comedy club. Like he needs that. We all, but if he was to, I think it would just be different if he went out there and there was nothing. You have to just come into town every time,
right?
To like have that feeling. You know, I think that feeling has to be consistent in your life, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to eat and breathe it all the time.
Right.
I remember I got my nose broken right here, right around this club.
Oh shit, I remember
Yeah.
that.
And
That was like
it was like a year and a half ago.
after the pandemic.
Yeah. And
That's insane.
it was crazy. I'm a fighter, so I've dealt with being hit in the face before.
Right.
Just never like right before a set.
Yeah, just on a Tuesday
Just on
night,
a whim.
right? It was
yeah.
just like
it was wild. But like, bringing that up is I got it wrapped up. I got it stuffed and all that. And then a week or two later, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go on fucking stage and talk about this shit. And Sam J was like, you are sick. Sit your ass down. Why you going? Why? You heal, motherfucker, heal. Because I was clearly still mad about it happening. Like I was damaged, but that's like, that's how much I love this shit and how much I've depended on it to heal me.
Yeah.
And that's sick. That is a sick thing.
But is it? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, if you get it out,
doesn't think so. A half of me still is like, bro, if I got my nose broken today, and there was a show I really wanted to do, I would write 5 minutes on my face, and then I would go do the show.
Because there is catharsis to it. It is a therapy.
It definitely is.
Right.
I do think there's timing for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's some timing.
But if your friend is like, sit down, like, she saw you, she was like, no, wait.
Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, you're not yourself right now.
Yeah. I looked crazy, Tom. I had my eyes dark. Shit was fucked up, bro. I was like, they gonna take me off the streets. Like, they need to.
God.
For at least a month, man.
Did they ever find out
Oh, no.
who it was?
This is the NYPD.
They never found out.
This is black on black crime, Tom.
It was just a random
It was just a
Steve
random.
Buscemi punch.
It was there's some brass knuckles on him too.
Did they really?
Yeah, he didn't need it. He was very big. He could have broke the nose, especially without any warning. He didn't need the weapon, so that was just an extra piece.
Didn't he pop out of a car and do it, and then like
No, they were just like chilling, and then he walked away. So the police came over, and I didn't snitch, but the police came over and showed me footage of him like going street to street to street, and he's like, "Do you recognize this dude?" And I said, "No."
Who going street to street?
The guy who hit me, they followed him because they got cameras.
By camera?
Yeah, so they followed him throughout the cameras, but then he went like 7 or 8 blocks, and then he got in a car.
And was he like booking it, or he was just casually hanging out?
Walking, because New York is the best place to punch a motherfucker in the face and get away with it.
And then just get a euro and
My man walked
pizza.
away. My man walked away like he was in a packed club. He was just like, "Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me." It was so many people outside, Tom. It was so many people.
He was solo?
It was a watch out guy. So there was because I saw the tape.
Yeah.
So I saw there was a watch out guy, and then there was him. The watch out guy peeped me, signaled the dude. Dude put the knuckles on. My dumb ass looking at my set, thinking I'm at work.
Yeah, of course.
Bow, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it sucked.
So a watch out guy. That means
yeah.
they picked you.
It seemed like a plot.
Like a plot.
Yeah. I don't know though, you know.
Did you ever have ideas of like who or what or?
I mean, they had some ideas, but ain't nothing.
Concrete.
Nah, nothing concrete.
That is terrifying. If some guy, you're just going to do your spot.
Yeah, I just wanted a fair fight, man.
Yeah.
I just want to be like, hey,
Yeah.
I got a problem. I just want
Well, it's
give
almost
me
like-
a warning.
I mean, I don't want to speculate, but we will because we're doing a podcast. He had to have. It wasn't him. Like he was sent.
He was
sent.
sent down.
That big dude.
Or you know, because there was a trend where people were getting punched in the face.
Yeah, still.
Yeah. Oh, that's still
Right,
going
Stu
on.
Buscemi just got punched in the
Oh,
face.
that's right. That's what you said. It was
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. He was like on the subway or something, right? And some guy just came up, clocked him, and walked away.
Yeah, man. You know, yeah, and I don't like throwing out names, just out of speculation. But you know, I'm past it. My nose healed. Some girls who saw me ain't seen me in a long time. They're like, "Ooh, it look like it's normal. Go ahead." I'm like, "It looks like it's normal. Thank you very much."
That is insane. I remember that. That was a very creepy feeling.
Yeah, it's crazy when you get hit, anywhere, but just like outside of a comedy club feels kind of wild.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done so much other stuff in my life where I felt like I could have been punched in the face and it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
I sold drugs for a while, man. Not one punch. Now,
So they follow this guy camera street to street, block to block.
Yeah,
and that's not enough information to go get him.
Absolutely not. They didn't really see his face. I didn't have or give them any information. And then and I remember they called me a few months after, and they were like, "Look, there's murders out here in New York City, okay?" I'm like, "All right, man. I didn't have any hope. You called me. You called me to tell me there's so many murders that my case is dropped."
Jeez.
I'm like, "That's fine, man."
Jeez.
I mean, I'm sorry to the niggas who got murdered, but
Could you have given him possible names in the night of and been like,
yeah, I don't.
But you didn't want to. Yeah.
Nah, I'm not
Right.
doing all that, man. I mean, I don't have a strong history with the police, to be very honest. In no positive way. So,
you mean when they rolled up, you weren't like,
thank God, officer, you made it. My napkin. You know what I mean? No, I don't. I don't fuck with them like that. But
it was like brass knuckles, and then right below brass knuckles is these guys.
Yeah. And so
Somebody send a friend.
I was like, nah. If I ever find out, you know what I mean?
I'll handle it.
Yeah. I got thousands of family members. We'll figure something out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta tap the police. It's all.
Do you come from a big family?
I do.
Yeah.
Thousands of us legitimately. Yeah, man. We love to fuck, bruh.
Do you have
Not each other,
reunions?
just,
you have the reunions where you wear the T-shirts?
So my mom and a collective of the family, because there's like 8 or 9 different families within our family.
Right.
And they all came together, and they've been planning this big reunion for the 4th.
Yeah. This year?
Yeah. And it's a huge deal. So I've been trying to keep off all my little tour dates off the slow time so I can be there, because it'll be the first time we all have gotten together.
How many people will that be?
Man, hundreds, I think.
Wow.
It's gonna be pretty big, man. It's gonna be pretty huge.
Great.
It probably impossible to get all of us together at one time, but this will be the most collective of our family in a long time, man.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that'll be great.
It's so much fun, man. Like Houston, I'm the only famous one, I think.
How
So far.
How funny you walk in and someone we know you didn't realize was part of your family.
My God.
What?
All the cousins know me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they reach out and stuff, and it's really cool. I remember I was in Houston, and when I shit you not, 40 of my family members came to my show.
Whoa.
40. And we hung out, and we were deep.
Wow.
Deep, man.
Isn't that wild?
It's so dope, man. It's so cool just to know that you have all that family. And then even in my family I grew up with and I knew really well, it was still a whole lot of us. So there's always been a lot of us. That's kind of like
it's amazing when you get around family that you don't know that well. And I'd watch it with my kids.
Yeah.
When we would get around family and that they've only met maybe once.
Yeah.
But it's just like that.
Yeah, man.
You feel that blood, you just belong. They see them on a different level from all these other strangers.
Yeah,
it's a crazy thing.
It's so crazy. It's I love it, man. They not the ones to be asking for money, but like
Hey, we're gonna meet on the 4th.
Yeah, they're like, yo,
we're not gonna exchange phone numbers.
Hey, what's up, cuz? You remember that time, nigga? We just met. I don't remember any time. We don't have a time to remember.
You're rich, right?
Nah, $20,000. That's not a lot to you, is it?
What'd they pay you for Candy Cane Lane?
God, man. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah, I can't wait.
What part of the country?
Mississippi or Atlanta?
Oh, okay.
I keep looking at the camera. I don't know. Like my mom's gonna correct me. Like, Mom, what?
Come on, man. Let me know.
Yeah, but I think it's either Atlanta or Mississippi. One of the two.
Well, that's good.
I don't have all the details. I'm just gonna go where they tell me.
When you grew up, where were your grandparents? Were they around?
They were I had my grandma until my teen years, I think, on my dad's side, his mom. But my mother's my grandma Iris, I knew her for a long time.
Right.
And until we were grown when we lost her.
Right.
But they were in Mississippi, and they used to come up and stay with us in everywhere we lived.
Wow.
She would come up and stay. We always had cousins stay.
Yeah.
Like that's another dope thing about a big family. You just like you cycle in a bunch of folks come live with you, come hang out, and then they start work and they might move there or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So it's always like a revolving door of love almost.
Any good cooks?
Everyone.
Yeah.
No.
Not
everyone, but a lot of good cooks.
Yeah.
A lot of good cooks. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's anytime we get together on holidays, you know exactly who's going to go down. You know what I mean? And you know exactly which ones to avoid. They'll always bring that weirdo thing under that
weird
foil.
Jell-O mold.
Yeah. You're like,
Weird casserole.
All right, then. That looks like a lot of stuff in there.
Looks like a lot of emptied cans.
Yeah, that looks like butt ammunition to me. That's what that looks like. Nah.
Who close to you was a good cook? Was your
my mom was an excellent cook. Yeah.
what was she make?
Oh man, dude, she makes these potatoes / like kind of hash brownie things that goes really well with like fish and spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
She's her lasagna's banging.
Wow.
My mom can kind of throw down like pretty much anything.
Nice.
And then like I don't eat a lot of sweets, like not like cake sweets. But she makes this dope ass coconut cake.
Oh man,
that bangs. Oh my god. I'll bring you some next time.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? She goes hard. And all her sisters too. All her sisters can cook.
So would you say this is July 4th? Let me put it in my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah. Put it in your phone, Fimo. Yeah. Everybody gonna think you my entertainment lawyer.
He's a distant cousin.
Yeah.
5 times removed.
Yeah. But we're not removing them tonight. Cheers.
Coconut cake. I love coconut.
Yeah, it's so good, man.
Yeah.
And I don't even like coconut that much, but the way she whips, it's like a whipping cream kind of. And it's
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's great, man.
How many siblings?
My brother and my younger brother, and then my older sister, and that's kind of us. And then we have cousins who live with us that like are like my sisters and brothers too.
Right.
Yeah.
Was anyone else funny?
Yeah, man. My brother is funny as hell. My sister too. Everybody's always had jokes, like a sense of humor.
That's good.
Definitely. But
is that from one of the parents?
My dad's funny, you know what I mean, and my mom is funny when she ain't trying to be too funny. She's funny. She's really funny. Everybody got a little like a little funny to them. I'm the one that weaponized it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I took it to the lab and did experiments.
I'm gonna take what all of you people gave me.
Yeah,
and
most
make this
definitely.
real.
And also just was doing goofy shit, trying to figure out who I am. You know what I mean?
When did you know you were funny?
I kind of knew I could be. I knew I could be funny really early because I was introvert, and I got ADHD and depression, and I didn't really understand any of that. So I was super quiet and introverted, and nervous to talk to people. So comedy is how
As a little kid?
Yeah. So it's how I kind of engaged friends. It's
Right.
like by being funny and being goofy.
Right.
And then once they laughed, then I could get more comfortable and I could talk.
Right.
But for a lot of people, I was quiet. You know what I mean?
Right,
For a lot of years. So it's so funny when people are like, "We always knew, nigga." I said a word to you, bro. Not for any other reason. I was terrified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I got to high school or I got to middle school, high school is kind of when I realized that girls like funny guys.
Right.
But I was rapping in too, so I was like I was funny, but I was rapping, so I was trying to straddle the line of being cool and not being too funny where I couldn't be cool.
Right. Yeah.
But I should have just been funny the whole damn time.
Yeah. Yeah, pretending to be cool.
Yeah. Like, nah, girl, you know what it is. Just
Well, you got that award for the song on SNL.
Yeah.
It made me think, like, is there a part of you that feels like I could mess with this a little bit more?
With the music?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I'm always making music. I'm
You
always
are?
writing music. Yeah, I love comedy music. Comedy music was something that was like, it brought two things I love together.
Right.
And there was a level of authenticity there that made the stuff work. And that wasn't making my raps work before, because I wasn't truly being myself. I was being what I thought people wanted to hear. I was getting the skill set down. I could rhyme. I could write. You know, I could write songs. But like, I didn't truly know myself. And I feel like most of the time you kind of gotta know who you are. Yeah. It just makes the art better. And so now I'm like, you know, I would maybe release some music just for me, kind of thing, like this, just to see if if anybody would feel it. Yeah. But I'm working on comedy music, like that. I'm not gonna stop for.
Have you ever released anything like that?
Other than the SNL? On my own, no, not yet. Cause I'm picky, cause I really want to do it right. Yeah. I have ideas and I have plans, but I didn't want to do it. You know, I love the quality that you get to make on SNL. Like I like even though most of those songs. Some of the songs we got lucky that we were able to do it in the way we wanted to. But you're creating in a vacuum, so you don't get to always do all of your ideas. So there's a large part of me that wants to make a project where I get to do all that I wanted to do. Right. And in the way I want to do it. So no holds barred, no FCC shit you gotta worry about. Right. You just get to just make something. And so I'll do that, and
as Chris Red or an alter ego.
Both, I think. Yeah. I think it'll be both. Maybe a concept thing. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away here.
Yeah, all right.
But I do have plans to make,
That's great.
It's
such a cool. I'm always envious of that outlet. Like it almost seems like you can just put on a new skin. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there is a fun to it. It's hard to do it right consistently. But it's not. But that's what makes it fun. Yeah, I think it's like you're making a funny song or you're making a fucking musical. I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But man, I mean, not that many people do it anymore. But like when I was young, funny songs.
What? It was a thing.
It was everywhere. It was just so great. Yeah, and so especially when you're young, just to be like. This is something like, you love anything that's just taking something and twisting it out of the normal a little bit.
Yeah. You're like, oh, that song, I know that song, but it's about booty. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Hearing what I'm hearing.
Oh, that's the Seal song, but it's about breakfast. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah.
Really? Like, there hasn't been a lot of that lately.
I mean, yeah, you see it on Instagram, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like you see it in some sketch shows and stuff like that. But that was like one of my things I loved growing up. Yeah. And that's when I went on that show, I wanted to make a name for myself in that specific genre of comedy. I was
you
like,
had that in mind.
Yeah, that was one of my goals. It was like, I want to be the guy. I want to be the guy that people come to like, yo, Music Week. Right. Or like, yo, what music you got? Or, you know what I mean? Just know that like when what I used to love about being on a show was like when you got a song on, and then they like, and in that first 5 seconds, shit turned, like the music video revealed itself, and it was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, yeah, like that was like how you knew. And then like between the first verse and the chorus, you could tell if it was gonna go well. And when it didn't, it was very devastating. But but when it did, there's no drug. I mean, there's very few things that are that kind of high. You know what I mean? Just getting that visceral reaction right away.
Oh, and knowing that it's going across the country. Yeah, moment.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's super. It's crazy.
How did you do with the whole SNL experience?
I had a lot of fun with it, man. I was pissed a lot too. You know what I mean? I don't think you can have one without the other. I think it's built for it to be difficult and hard. Yeah. But it highlighted a lot of stuff within myself that I may not have been as confident about or didn't know I had interest in. Being able to produce your own stuff and being as involved as you want to be. Yeah. And just being able to write with the best of the best and just constantly critiquing work that you already like. Right. It was dope. It just makes you a better artist, I feel.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's a lot of stories, or you just hear like, if depending on the artist's thick skin or emotional place, it could be a really difficult place for people. Like a lot of people come out of it and they're like,
Oh yeah. I was on Adderall like for 2 or 3 years, heavy, and I didn't realize I was on it heavy because I wasn't a real Adderall person. You know what I mean? But I had just started therapy, and that's when I found out like, oh, I got ADHD and I got depression, and then but instead of going to a doctor, I just found some Adderall because I'm used to selling drugs, so I just called my old cohorts. Like, hey,
was he
you
friends?
got this?
Was he friends with someone who owned brass knuckles?
Damn it, Tom might figure this whole shit out by the end of the podcast. There's a lot of things I was introduced to there where I was like, a whole life there for a long time is not healthy for anybody.
Yeah.
But
does Adderall help your writing? Like,
yeah,
I've always been curious of that.
It does. It helped me be functional.
Just focus.
It helped me be focused and functional.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help. I hated it when I had to do stand up because I was too rigid. I was too like if this gotta go like this or this gotta go like this or if this is this and this joke is fucking done. When it's like
sounds like my act.
Yeah. But you're good at that. You're good at rigid. You're good. My style. I know my structure.
Yeah.
I know my jokes, but I gotta have a little looseness in there,
right?
Or it's not gonna feel.
Yeah, it's not you.
Yeah, because I'm also performing from anger sometimes. So
right.
So if I'm too rigid, it just looks like I'm an angry man.
Right.
You know, I'm just like, are you having fun? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just there's too much intensity.
Interesting.
So I had to make sure that I never took it to like perform stand up. I always did it to write.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then but then after a while it just kind of like it's just a weird, it's just too intense. It has you sweating all the time. It's just too much.
Yeah, if you don't need to get through something.
Well, I just needed to go get like a thing from a doctor and not just
someone monitoring.
Medicate.
Wait, how many milligrams are you on?
My God, dude.
Who told you to do this?
You need 5. What are you doing?
40.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
man.
it's funny, isn't it? It's like it's kind of similar to the thing we were talking about earlier of that crazy obsessive drive that you need early on. It's like probably taking that Adderall to that effect on that show at that time is probably what you needed to get through.
I will say was it definitely got me through some really, really tough times.
Yeah.
I do wish I had done it the right way, just to figure myself out, because I feel like I paid for it a little bit later. We're trying to figure it out now. Like,
what do you mean?
Just I feel like when you self-medicate, you know what I mean. You throw yourself off a little bit.
Right.
Like your system is thrown off a bit. So I feel like my depression was a little worse because I had went cold turkey on it, and then it was just like my dopamine was weird. It was a weird way, you know what I'm saying? Weird lows and shit. So I just was scared of being judged and going into the doctor and all that shit. So I wish I just had found the confidence to figure myself out a little bit sooner. You know what I mean?
Did you know because you mentioned when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Did you know you were depressed as a kid?
No, I knew I was in my head a lot, and I knew that like I was emotional and sad about when I shouldn't be sometimes, or I felt like I shouldn't be
from an early age.
Yeah, but like I didn't know I was any different than anybody. I thought everybody else was having the same kind of feelings.
Yeah.
And and then I just thought I was nervous, and then I just always thought it was something else because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the conversation about that wasn't prevalent at all in my house. You know what I mean? And I remember
in the world,
at all. And then I remember I was acting out a bunch. Like I was just angry. As I got older, all that emotion just turned into anger, because anger's cool. It's a cool coat to wear.
Right. Yeah.
And it's the only emotion that makes a man feel fucking like. You know what I mean? You can get a whole bunch of men riled up being pissed.
Yeah, it's true.
You can make everybody feel weird crying. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so it was something like I would act out a lot, and that's kind of the only time I remember as a child that my parents took me to see somebody. You know what I mean? But even after that, there was no follow through.
What age was that?
That was 16.
Okay.
Because I was punching walls and shit. I was real white kid shit.
Testosterone, yeah.
Only other kids I knew punching walls were white kids.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I gotta figure something out. I'm ruining my stuff.
Yeah, that's how. That's the locker rooms filled with that.
Man, dude, just dents everywhere.
Yeah. So at 16.
Yeah, and then I didn't address it again until my second year at SNL. I had won that award my first year. Didn't expect it. That
was the first year. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It was super cool. I didn't really know. I was so ignorant to what the Emmys were and what that meant. And
Yeah.
and I tried my hardest to be like, all right, this year we not chasing, trying to top that. That was incredible, but it was like a trick shot.
Right.
Like, don't expect it to be. But it was hard fighting like the expectation that nigga, you about to be in the Emmy again.
Yeah.
And then the system of that place was it it's almost as if it plays against you to do well like that. And it's also like catering to the stars of the show. Even though I won that, I wasn't like a star of the show for real. Yeah, like there were stars, so they would get catered to, and it was so hard to get stuff on.
Yeah.
Like no matter what we wrote, there were like weeks on end where I did nothing.
Yeah.
I brought my PlayStation up there. I started playing in a room. Like that's when my lows got crazy. I couldn't sleep. The Adderall was doing too much, and I'm not good at just sitting and doing nothing. I'm a hustler. I gotta work.
Yeah.
So I did stand up throughout my whole career at SNL. Sometimes just to make me happy, just because like you felt so unfunny some weeks, and then you'll go out and like, oh yeah, I am a killer.
Right.
I forgot. I just and then you go back in and try to keep some of that happiness.
It's hard.
It's hard. Everybody has those low years, and it's a part of that because there's so many people.
Yeah.
The cast was so big that with my time in there was a known thing. It was like if you're having a good week, 5 people are having the worst week.
Right.
All the time. And then everybody else is kind of just in the middle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's no way that you're having like everyone can't have a good week at the same time.
Man, yeah.
There's no way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you have that mentality, then you're able to navigate it a little bit better.
Sure.
But I was just being introduced to it all. So I remember being so depressed about it that I went to a show, a stand-up show, and it was on Wednesday after we had stayed up all night writing, got nothing on, got a lot of stuff pulled, so they didn't even read it. Oh. And then I was so fucking mad and like in my shit, I went and I did stand-up, and I'm rocking, but I can't feel it or hear it.
Oh.
So to me, it sounds like I'm not doing well.
No.
But yeah, and I was like, what, y'all don't fuck with me? At one point, I just stopped my act and like, damn, y'all not laughing at all? And it was Sam J's always in the right place at the right time when I'm having an emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
she was like, Chris, what the fuck you talking about, nigga? They laughing. So I continue to rock and I do my act.
Yeah.
But I still feel no different.
Wow.
But I'm like, fuck. But I'm looking at people. I'm like, okay, they are laughing. So
she said it to you in the middle of the set.
Yeah, because I made it so weird. It was so jarring how like I
put the brakes on.
Yeah, I put the brakes on something when I was clearly doing well. And then I went outside with her. She's like, what's going on? And I fucking cried like a fucking child. And I just couldn't understand what was going on with me. And then I got into therapy that next week.
Really?
Yeah, and then from there that was my
at her urging.
Yeah, she had started already, and my late friend Jack Knight has started, and they have been talking about it.
Right.
They really got me into thinking about
great.
doing it, and then I finally pulled the trigger.
Wow. And did it help you straight off?
No, because the first therapist was trash.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she stank. Her whole room stank.
Oh no.
Yeah, man, it stank, bro. And she didn't write anything down. So every beginning of my therapy session was like a Netflix recap.
Oh.
And she's like, so what did we talk about last week? Bitch, do you have notes? What is happening? Also, why is it stinking here? How you gonna fix me? You can't shower.
Why? Yeah. How you gonna fix me when this is the saddest place I go all week?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, nah, fuck all that. So it took me a while to find a therapist that was right for me. But then when I did, my last couple have been great. And this one I have now is fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Man. So when you're 16 and you're going through that rage, that's also the time you were clocking of starting to know you're really funny. Like real funny.
Yeah. Like I knew I was the silly funny guy. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't open to everybody, but once you got me there, I was, I was definitely cracking mad jokes, class clowning all the time, you know what I mean? But I was rapping, so that took the forefront. I never saw comedy as a career.
Oh.
Really. I didn't really because I was just so gun-ho. You couldn't from 10 till 21 or 2, you could not tell me I wasn't gonna be a rapper. Like,
wow.
You just couldn't. Like, that was what I knew I was going to be.
Really?
I did it every day. Every dollar went to studio time. Everything I did, every hustle, every fucking bad thing I did was all to fund or create stories.
Jeez.
This rap career,
Amazing. Who were your influences there? Who were you listening to at the time you were?
Oh man, Pac, Big, M, Snoop. Everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Cannabis for like. I loved battle rap.
Yeah.
I loved jokes. I've always loved jokes, and I was always good at. I could win at battles because I had jokes. I knew how to rhyme. So I could watch somebody and now I know what I'm doing. I'm making a set, but I would see somebody. I make a full set on their outfit or whatever is going on.
Great.
Now all I gotta do is rhyme, and I rhyme every day, so I know how to
Yeah.
And so most of them was just stand up jokes like.
Right.
Rhyme together, you know what I mean?
It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's how I made a name for myself doing that around the city.
Is Eminem the funniest rapper?
Oh, Ludacris was one of my favorites.
Ludacris?
He might be one of the funniest. Eminem is definitely hilarious.
Yeah.
But Luda was funny.
Right.
That he's like a cartoon on a beat, but in the coolest way you can do that.
Right.
His skits used to be hilarious. He used to his whole albums were like these dope concept albums that were like they had 5 or 6 sketches, and then the songs were funny, and then the lines were funny, but they were dope. And I was like, this is the kind of shit I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be funny without losing your cool.
Yeah. And there was only certain people doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And M and Luda, and I feel like I'm forgetting some others.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they were the guys who brought humor to it in a way that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to be able to be funny like that.
When you left music, or not completely left it, but when you shifted and went, all right, comedy is going to be the thing for a while, did you have to put listening to music away a little bit? I know a lot of times musicians will be like, they put the guitar down, they check out for a while.
I had to stop writing the way I was writing music for a while. I never stopped listening.
Yeah.
Music is the heartbeat. We used to have music playing all through the house 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like that was always been like the baseline.
Yeah.
Even now when I'm walking to the club, I'll pick a song with a BPM that I want to match joke wise. So like,
oh really?
I just realized I do this.
What do you mean?
But So if a thing is like 160 BPM, I want to see if I can match laughs per minute. I want to match the like rhythm of the laughs to the beat. Yeah. It's just an internal thing that I do to kind of. It's like a fun little challenge for me sometimes.
Great.
It's I don't know what it's making better. I don't know what the point is.
Yeah.
But it is but I found myself like when I would listen to slower songs before I go up. My pacing would be different. And I was like, oh, I'll start slower. You know what I mean? Like if I want to come out explosive, high energy, I listen to something that's high energy and explosive.
Right.
And then I'll just come in with that energy. And I just
interesting.
Yeah. I just noticed it.
Really interesting.
I just noticed as I've been home these past few weeks, and I've been going up every night, and I've been doing my walk up to the club. I can get about 3 or 4 songs in there, and I'm like, yo, whatever's the last couple songs, whatever that feeling is what my first few sets feel like, and it's crazy. I was like, oh fuck, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's interesting. Someone was saying that to be like a great speaker, oh man, It was like 96 beats per second. Like
Mm-hmm.
like all of the great speakers
Yeah.
had this rhythm that was pretty exact. They weren't
Oh.
musicians by any means.
Yeah.
But it was like all these great speakers all had this same rhythm. And I
that's
was like,
crazy.
how do you keep track of rhythm while you're doing it? But I guess if it's innate in you,
Yeah. I think
that you learned for 12 years of doing it since you were a kid.
There's markers.
Yeah.
It's just like it's the laugh markers or the reaction markers. So it's
Right.
and then it's like about what kind of laugh you're getting, obviously. But
Uh-huh.
but most of it is just like I like to feel like a machine gun.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I like motherfuckers being like, when is he gonna? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then like every time you're working a bit, it can't always be that. You know,
Right.
you gotta give space and time and
Yeah.
and I also love a slow build. I love
Mm-hmm.
I love like throwing a wrench on a flow just to see if I can get get back to that. You know what I mean? Like I love self sabotaging.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, there's a funny thing, like you're trying to kill so hard, so fast from like, and when you're doing your like longer sets, you really have to take a drink and relax just to be kind to the audience.
Yeah, man.
Just to let them,
Yeah.
all right, and kind of reset. It's almost
Yeah.
like you need to do that.
Yeah, and if you don't have the energy to if you're going 100 miles an hour for a half hour and you got 30 left and you're tired,
Yeah.
it's a wrap, bro. Like you're all going to sleep at the same time.
Right.
Like that used to be the thing. Like I really worked on pacing more when I was doing hours more consistently.
Yeah.
And those Friday shows. And you go so crazy hard on the first show,
Right.
and then you're like, "Fuck!" There's 2 hours to the second show, and then there's like 2 acts before me. There's like almost 3 hours of waiting,
Yeah.
and it's
Man.
like, "Fuck."
I was just listening, or just learned what Kat's schedule is when he's on the road.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever worked with Kat?
No, we've crossed paths a few times,
Right.
But not had the privilege. Yeah.
It's amazing. Like he has like 2 hours of show with great comedians.
Yeah.
Before he even gets on stage,
That's crazy.
that's
crazy.
And it works. Like it's because they're all so psyched to see him.
Yeah.
But could you imagine?
That's
2
so much
hours.
comedy.
Sometimes I'm like, I know you're used to doing 20 before me, but how about you do 15 and
Yeah.
get me up there? He's got 2 hours. With
I
Mark
like-
Curry and all these greats.
That's crazy, man.
know.
I highly respect it. I highly respect it. I know there were some folks that I had opened up for a couple times when I was first starting who were like super controlling about what you say and
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and so and Bruce was the first person I opened up for who was like, do what you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go out there and do what you want. I'm gonna do what I do. You go there and do what you want.
You're right.
And I was like, so I've always respected the
Yeah.
OGs and the people who carry themselves like that because
Yeah.
there's a level of confidence there
100%.
to know that you're giving the people the best of the best. I will say I'm like I don't know if anybody doing 2 hours of comedy on my show but me, but
Yeah, I know. But that's
yeah, that's awesome.
Cat has a different.
He's a
different.
he's a
world.
different beast altogether.
Yeah, he's thinking about things in a totally different way.
Yeah, absolutely. He wants
So
them
unique.
exhausted. He wants them exhausted. So every pop is like, yeah, bitch. Yeah, you thought you was done. I feel that. I get it. I understand
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? It's just a long time. That's a lot of comedy.
You got to have a lot of love for you.
Yeah.
Walk into a like.
None of those people
You
are going
built
out
that.
again for a month or two.
No way. Not until he comes around a year and a half. later.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There's
That
no
is
way.
too much comedy to take in at once.
Yeah. Oh my God. He really does. It is kind of amazing. Back to what we were talking about with the hour.
Mm-hmm.
There is that thing. Do you ever think like, we all influence each other.
Mm-hmm.
We're all in this beehive together in a real way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice that, you inspire each other. You learn from people's mistakes. You learn from other stuff. But there is definitely, I've been thinking lately, like you have to be careful to not be all going at it the same exact way. You know what I mean? Like we're all doing this thing and putting out specials and doing that thing. But you got to kind of put the blinders on a little bit and think, what can I like the way you're talking about the music
Yeah.
is a good example of that. It's like you're not imitating anybody doing that. Like that
Yeah.
would be your own lane.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that I feel like that's why like when I'm working on a new set, like there's certain people that I know influence me, so I can't watch them.
Right.
Like which is harder because sometimes I'm coming across topics that they may have in their special, or I won't know until a homie is like, hey, that's I'm like, fuck, all right. But they already know me, so they know I'm not trying to do somebody else's bit. It's just like, fuck, he touched that.
Uh-huh.
Like I can't watch Chappelle, I can't watch Rock when I can't watch them too much when I'm getting my shit together because like I of how much I like those guys,
right? Exactly.
And their styles,
and they're so unique, and that rhythm and the whole thing is
absolutely
contagious.
So it's just that's one of them things where it's like I just got to stay away from it until I'm solid on what I'm doing.
Yeah,
and
well, it sounds like you're in a really great place, and it sounds like that thing you're talking about like the life balance with comedy. It's like, if you want to be unique, just live your life.
Just live it. Just live your life, man. And there's no way that anyone can copy your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so you just do exactly like I had like a theory. I don't know if it's a new idea, but it's just like if you speak from your life, you're always going to be authentic.
Yeah.
And everything else is up for grabs.
Right.
Any angle you think is the most creative angle in the world, if someone beats you to it, it's because it's up for grabs.
Right.
But nothing in your life is up for grabs.
That's right.
Nothing that happens to you, that's something that you personally go through. No one's gonna write nothing like that.
No way.
Even if they come close to it, there's always gonna be a difference.
No, 100%. And you get to a certain point where that's where you want to explore and talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you've lived life, and now you have your perspective on it. It's like in the beginning, we're all talking about the train, the apartment, the girlfriend.
Yeah. and then you get to a point in this where you know you can write jokes, you can write an hour.
Right.
What kind of comic do you want to be?
Right.
Like what kind of comic are you? What are you actually bringing to the game?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I think that's where you really find your separation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. So are you going hard this summer?
Yeah, man. I just sold a show, and I'm working on it now. Super fun, and so hopefully we'll be.
Nothing ruins a good stand-up set like success.
Absolutely. Oh God! Now I'm looking at my set every time. Like, is this for the show or is this for my set? I don't know.
Yeah.
And the answer is both, probably.
Yeah.
But. So I'll be working on that, but I'll be touring a bunch. And
where are you going?
Man, damn, I don't know any of my schedule. I am going. Shit, I should look. I know I'm going to Austin. Let me just look.
Is that for the family reunion?
No, the family. The family reunion is gonna.
I want to go to that so bad.
Yo, you come on out. Boy, Papa, you better come on out here.
I got a big family.
Here
we go. Cleveland.
Yep. Oh, I'm going to Hilarities. I love Hilarities, bro. Yeah, I'm going there on the 6th.
The best.
Yes. I'm going there. I cannot wait. I haven't been back to Hilarities.
Going to all the good spots. Denver.
Yep. I love Denver.
Comedy Works. Fort Worth, Texas. August, we're going to Kansas City, San Diego. London.
Yep. I had to move London because of a shoot, but I cannot wait to go to London.
That's good.
London, they don't pay shit, but I love the people.
It's
the
people. You get to do a spot.
Exactly, and that's why I had to move it. I was like, hey, I gotta move it where I can I can put a vacation in there because this has to make sense to me. You know what I mean?
I know you have to build this up somehow.
This has to be either a work vacation or I'm not coming.
Exactly.
I can't.
I had the same thing.
Yeah, I can't reconcile with myself.
Yeah.
Going out there for $2 and a baguette. Like I don't know.
And a smaller crowd than you have in the States.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you keep coming back.
The third or fourth time is really great.
Yeah. I have a croissant. Is that the wrong country for this?
Well, this is really great. Really
Man.
good catching up.
Dude, so much fun.
Yeah,
man.
really cool.
Always good. I didn't realize it would just be hanging out with you. That's nice.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be a trivia.
What do you think was
podcast.
going to happen?
I thought it was gonna be a trivia podcast.
I got games.
How many Star Wars movies can you name in the back?
I'm playing ping pong.
This is awesome, man. No,
This is really cool.
it's always great to see you.
Yeah, you too. Very funny, and you're always cranking out good stuff. And seriously, Candy Cane Lane,
Oh man.
what a cool thing. I mean, really
Eddie's the god. The cast was amazing.
amazing.
But like Eddie's one of the guys who I looked up to.
Right.
Obviously, I feel like there's a billion people say this.
yeah,
But he was just so cool, so fun to play with. And I had a small part, literally. And they made us feel like family. And
that's so good.
yeah, just got to riff a bunch and
Wow.
improvise. And with something like that, like that big, you never know how it's gonna go. But it was just so much fun,
Did
man.
you get to interact with him a lot?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like every day almost.
Wow.
Pretty much. I think just about every day.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Jeez Louise. Did you ever talk comedy, or could you get there?
Dude.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Eddie's cool as shit because he's like very reserved, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then he'll hear a funny conversation
Uh-huh.
and he'll perk up. You know what I mean? but the conversation gotta be funny. You can't force it on him.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It gotta be,
Yeah.
But he's super cool though, and I remember we talked about SNL, and that was super dope.
Yeah.
I had always wanted to talk to him about SNL,
Of course.
and like I started to try to compare, but I was like, ain't no comparing to this nigga. You left and you became the biggest star in the world.
Jeez.
I left and I swam through some shit for a couple years. We getting there.
Oh, God.
was
I mean, no
awesome.
one's bigger.
No one.
No one. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's so good that he was. So you got to have some, like, just one-on-one little.
Yeah, just little moments. You know what I'm saying? Which was
great.
super cool, and
Yeah, 'cause I wasn't sure just because of the way the movie was done.
Yeah.
Like-
that if we would even be in the
Yeah.
room, which I didn't know either. I
Yeah.
thought I was like, we're not gonna see him.
Yeah.
But it was cool, man. Yeah, we got to chop it up with him every now and then. You know what I mean?
Great.
And
and
definitely
how
on set.
cool. I mean, it's a great thing to be in a holiday movie of any sort.
Yeah.
Because every year it becomes part of
A thing.
of the catalog.
Yeah.
And that you and that cast.
Dude, it was so sick.
That's great.
Yeah, it was such a new vibe to be
Yeah.
able to be in something like that, and
So
yeah, it was cool. It was
really great.
It was really cool. I was really proud of that. You know?
Yeah, that's really great. Well, man, you're going to continue to work forever, and which is a good thing because I always need guests coming back on the podcast.
Hey man, I'll be back playing. I'll bring you bread.
All right, when you're in LA.
Different kind of bread I'm gonna bring you.
All right, and when you're in LA, stop by the studio and
yeah.
I'll give you the proper bread. I mean, these croissants will be fine.
Oh yeah, I'm about to bang these croissants, but when I'm in LA, I expect some fresh bread, brother, out the bread oven.
I got you covered. All right, we got it.